everyone. Welcome to Real Estate with Ryan. So excited to be with you on a Saturday talking what our favorite topic, real estate. It's real estate in the East Tennessee housing market. And it's a Saturday. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Kickoff to the weekend. Weather's changing. Still a little chilly last week. I'm ready for a little summer. I don't know about you guys. Got a lot of news in the housing market. Got a great show for you today. Tuning in. So the secret to selling fast, no matter the market. I thought that would be a good topic. So no matter the market, if you're thinking about selling fast, we're going to give you some tips, what to do, what not to do. And then we'll give you some real estate news. What's going on in the housing market? What's going on here in East Tennessee? Graduation's hard to believe. My little baby, Isaac, my little man, is graduating kindergarten. So he's first year kindergarten is over. So it's hard to believe. A lot of you got graduations, and my daughter, she's 5th grade, going to 6th. Babies, slow down. It's just going too fast. How about all you guys? And then all the graduations, the high school and UT, just a matter of time. I was talking to a great client yesterday, and he said, my kids are 20, and then my other kid's almost 30. He said, where's the time going? And I think that's just kind of, older we get, the time's moving quicker. And so it's spend that time this summer, spend some time with your family. And thank you for always tuning in with Real Estate with Ryan. If you're tuning in for the first time, Real Estate with Ryan, we give you the housing market in East Tennessee, what's going on, what's not going on, what to do, have a little fun with it as well. If you're following us on social media, thank you. You can find Real Estate with Ryan every Saturday at 1 o'clock and 11 o'clock. So 1 o'clock over on News Talk, and then Talk Radio, 92.3 FM at 11. Social media, Twitter, well, it's X now, right? Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, you name it, we got you there. And Spotify, etc. You can always catch us there on replay. So thank you for tuning in. We'll get right into it. Real estate market is moving all over. Mortgage rates still in the 6% range, 6.3 to 6.5 nationally across the country. 30-year fixed mortgage. People are just adjusting to the new normal. And we're probably seeing with the Fed's movement there. No movement. Don't know what's going on. Fed chair is going to stay in. New Fed chair is coming in. He did get confirmed, so that's good news. We know he's a favor to cut interest rates, so I thought that was always a good thing. We don't know where it's going to be, so I think one of the biggest things we'll be talking about today is don't wait, don't watch the markets. Keep an eye on those things. That's so important to understand. We know inventory across the country. We'll kind of talk about here in a few minutes, whether it's first half or second half. We'll talk about across the country, people that are relocating to East Tennessee. But in what markets are going up, what are selling quickly? Because we're still seeing that in some of the states across the country. They're moving quickly. And what states are slow to move? Okay. Inventory is rising. The National Association of Realtors said that inventory has been increasing year over year. Buyers finally have more options compared to extremely low inventories. Homes are taking a little longer to sell. We've seen that. Nationally, about 31 days to go to pending. The Knoxville housing market, we're about 2 months. And that may be picking up. Now March, we just had March stats come out, and I thought it was a really good number. Pending home sales have recently increased 7.7% year over year. That's a great stat. So maybe slow in the housing markets, but some of the data is moving in our favor. Buyers are picking up. What we've seen in our market in the last couple of weeks, kind of like what I'm just talking about. Kiddos are getting out of school, graduations. Now I've got great buyers coming from out of state that they've sold their property, and it's like, well, Ryan, if we're going to do something, we need to do it now. So like timing, it's now. It's go time. And so that's what we're seeing a lot across the country and people moving in here. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this. We'll finish these points, and I've got some congrats, some new listings, and we'll jump into the rest of our show. But it's important to know that home prices have not crashed, just leveled out. They're slightly positive year over year, but still consumer confidence is low. A lot of people are watching the numbers, watching the payments. A lot of the stuff in Iran and the war and what's going on with gas prices, it's affecting across the country. We're seeing in the short-term rental market or in the vacation market where people are booking last minute. So if you have vacation rentals, or you have properties out of state, you may see those where buyers just are not booking way in advance. Part of that's a lot of it uncertainty in the housing market. And so with gas prices where we're at, some people are not booking at all. And so those bookings are down across the country, so you have to watch that. Builders are offering incentives. We've seen in our area, builders across the country are still offering rate buy downs, incentives, closing cost, and that's where a lot of new construction across the country is moving, and so there's incentives. Affordability is still the biggest issue. We talked about that, and then buyers have become payment buyers. So Brian, what's payment buyers? Well, back in the day when we had to buy whatever was out there, we're just, rates are 2 or 3%, and, didn't really matter. But now buyers are really conscious. Consumer credit card debt is higher than we've seen in a long time. But the positive note is that East Tennessee communities still see strong demand. East Tennessee is continuing attracting buyers across the country. Some of that to our no state income tax, our lifestyle and relocation, recreation, and just the overall lower cost of living. So, like I said, before we get going too far into it, I've got some congrats, new listings. New listing out on Ridgewood Road in Harriman. Beautiful lot with building opportunities out there, over 5 acres with breathtaking views. I'm talking breathtaking views. It's one of the nicest lots that I've listed in a long time with these views. Make sure you check that property out. New listing on Half Moon Shores out in 10 Mile. 1 year old. Owners are being transferred. They're sad. Opportunity to take over this beautiful new home. Make sure you check it out. Just like new. Congrats to our great seller in Knoxville and Esther Way. A beautiful condo in West Knoxville went under contract, and our seller just closed yesterday. Brushy Valley Drive. Beautiful lot out there. Just closed and had an opportunity to have some great neighbors that can be building. So the Powell community, if you haven't visited the Powell community, that has really skyrocketed. Me and April first married, we lived in Halls for a little bit area, and it's kind of neat to kind of see how that whole area has changed. Just from Kroger, just all the development and growth. It's kind of wild. So great opportunity for some new buyers there. Let's jump into our show. Be honest, because the market's obviously changed. And if you watch the housing market, you know it's not flying off the shelf. It's not like it used to be. But was that used to be a temporary thing? It was. Supply and demand. Where interest rates are 2 or 3%, it's hard to pass that up. A lot of buyers enter the market. But when 6 or 7%, what we said in the first part, buyers become payment buyers. We're watching that. Buyers are more cautious. Affordability matters. Inventory is climbing. But there's good news. Homes are selling in every city across the country and are still moving. And as we peak into May and going into summertime, we're going to see those numbers increase. So there's a strategy. What's the difference in the strategy? Today we're going to talk about some things that I think are important. Homes have been on the market for a while, but there's a reason. A lot of that. Buyers make mistakes in the housing market, but why? Why do they make mistakes? We'll talk about that a little bit. Buyers actually care about today. What do buyers care about today? We said, Ryan, interest rates, affordability, but there's a lot that goes into it. We just had a new construction. We were working on something over $1 million, negotiating the deal. And what buyers are concerned about was there were some truss or joists that were cut. And then there was a little bit of this. So you really have to look of new construction. You say, well, new construction, it's a new construction house, Ryan. There shouldn't be any problem. Shouldn't be, right? But buyers are not wanting to take on any kind of projects. And so in new construction, a lot of these neighborhoods, I know you've seen them. They're riding around Tennessee and Knoxville. You've seen these neighborhoods, in 1 second they're clearing the lots. The next second, the homes are up, built, there's a model home. You say, well, how did they put it up that quick? Well, are they putting it up proper? Well, new construction over $1 million, we already got rafters cut, joists cut. Now there's some leaking that's potential in the roof. Well, this has cost a sale on 2 potential clients. So not only is our client not wanting to take on a project or unforeseen issues, now the current buyer, that's all cash, may be bailing out of the deal. So these are things to think about. The psychology behind fast sales in the housing market, okay? Proven formula that helps buyers and sellers across East Tennessee. So some of the things that we saw before, buyers waiving inspections, homes sold in hours, multiple offers, pricing mistakes overlooked, didn't matter, we're buying it. Not in today's market. Buyers are price sensitive. Higher mortgage rates, affordability have dramatically affected buyers across East Tennessee. We're still seeing strong demand. We talked about that in the first part of the show. That people are relocating to East Tennessee. and they're still relocating. We just saw a little political deal here where they're rezoning the maps and things like that. And I'm sure that's a popular thing or here or there, but East Tennessee is growing at rapid pace. A lot of that is, lower taxes. We're seeing in certain states, now we'll talk about that in the second half, some of the states that you could see the higher tax rates is one of the slowest pending home sales across the U.S. So we got a few minutes coming up here on the break. We'll be right back on the second half, Real Estate with Ryan. Y'all stay tuned.
When speed matters, every second counts.
Wow, that was fast.
In real estate, speed is an advantage.
In football, speed is crucial.
In softball, speed is game-changing.
If you want your home sold fast,
Trust Ryan Coleman and his team at Hometown Realty for fast results.
Thanks, guys. Go Big Orange.
Hometown Realty is East Tennessee's #1 real estate group and a proud sponsor of the Vols.
I'm Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty. The real estate market's changing every day. You need to know your home's value in today's market. Text your home address to 290-2290 for an instant, no obligation home evaluation. That's 865-290-2290. And remember, when you're ready to sell, we have a guaranteed sale program to get you in your next home stress-free. Trust your hometown experts. We've helped thousands of people just like you.
All right, we're back at it, second half, Real Estate with Ryan. Thank you for staying tuned. Those first segments always go a little quicker than we expect. So we're talking about the East Tennessee housing market. We're talking about the secret to selling your home fast, no matter the market. Still strong demand across the area. As we were talking about in the first half, really kind of what is bringing people to East Tennessee. We talked about low taxes, quality of life, outdoor lifestyle, job growth, and just overall affordability in this crazy market, which, things aren't affordable right now. Cost of inflation, things are going up. I was just talking to my accountant the other day, and we were talking in the first segment a little bit about vacation rentals. We're talking about just taking a vacation as we approach the summer. The affordability of what the gas prices have affected the housing market. But then that gas prices I don't think the gas prices are really it. You start thinking about it, affordability factor and how this affects the housing market. You look at the gas prices, look at the cost of living, and if you look on a vacation, just what it takes just to go out to eat. And you start seeing those prices rise, and so a lot of people are not taking vacations, or if they're taking them, they're minimizing them, or they're doing it last minute. So that's what you kind of see in the housing market. And you see that across the country. So when people are coming from other markets where they're taxing you to death, state taxes, car taxes, this tax, you name it, you're seeing where some of those sales has affected. I'll jump into that because I think this stat is important. You can't see the map, but we had a map of some of the fastest and slowest housing markets across the country. That's where a home went under contract in 7 days in each market. So positivity across the country in some areas, there's not a lot of new construction. And those areas are moving. But there are some areas that are struggling. So let's talk about St. Louis, Missouri, 38.4% selling in 7 days. Great housing market. Richmond, Virginia, where I'm from, 33.9% in 7 days. Charlotte, North Carolina, our neighbor. Where are we at? 8% sold in 7 days. Not too great. And they're touching. Virginia are touching. Wonder what the difference is there. Hartford, Connecticut, popular area, 35.1% selling in 7 days. Jacksonville, Florida, 8% selling in 7 days. San Antonio, Texas, 7.5%, 7 days. Seattle, Washington, 34.7% sold in 7 days. That's kind of surprising. In New York, 6.6% sold in 7 days. Talk about taxing. Well, they'll tax you. It's one of the areas that is the slowest selling will be in New York. So that's not a surprise with taxation. So buyers are looking for affordability across the country, and they're relocating to get that. They're over with the crime. They're over with the government and politics. Tennessee is one of those top states. So it's a great opportunity for the housing market, great opportunity for job growth. Let's talk about a little bit more about pricing. Let's talk about a little bit about what we do as far as our company. You know, if you're thinking about buying or selling today's market, it's a scary decision. If you're buying or selling, you need an agent, a team that you can trust. And so we're talking about pricing. We're talking about, where to start. And I think one of the most important moves as we approach the summer market right around the corner is you got to have a game plan. You got to be preparation. And what we're going to talk about in marketing as we carry on the show is preparation. Whether you play sports, prepare for your job, whether you're preparing for a home to sell. My daughter's got a little state tournament this week and you're preparing for a state tournament. It makes no difference. You're going to prepare. Preparation is the key to success, right? So if you're going to prepare properly, it all starts with the agent, the team that you choose. And having that conversation on the front end. Yes, you can go to all these online sites and what my home is worth. And just because my neighbor sold down the street, 2 days on the market, that doesn't mean that that's going to happen for your home. So there's a lot of different factors. I would always encourage that the opportunity, if you're thinking about buying or selling, maybe you're relocating across the country, have an opportunity to reach out to us or get a great agent. I always say that we're a great opportunity for a choice, interview a couple, but have an opportunity to have us come out, talk to you, go over a game plan, preparation. It's not just pricing, marketing, what we need to do we need to declutter, and some suggestions. There's a couple homes that we have right now, great past clients. And I really wish going on and selling those properties that we had an opportunity to meet with them on the front end. You would think that opportunity to say, hey, Ryan, come out and look at it. What do you think? What's your suggestions? Didn't cost anything, wouldn't charge anything. Just an opportunity to help you. But some people don't, whether it's rush, timing, or etc. We always think that the housing market's going to be the same, and it's just not. So what I would encourage, if you're thinking about buying or selling, reach out to us, no matter it's 6 months, 12 months, get us and have an opportunity to come out and talk to you, give you a home evaluation, but most importantly, give you a game plan that's going to put you up for success. Because nothing's more stressful than, I'm telling you, we're working on it right now. My team is constantly working, and there's nothing more stressful than buying or selling. And especially adding that with kiddos, family, new job across the country. The last thing you want to do is try to do all that and evaluate your home in 30 days. Just not possible. So if you think about possibly selling, moving, get us out in front. It's an opportunity. There's no cost, but it'll be one of the smartest moves you make. So I just want to throw that out there because I'm seeing that more now than we have in a long time. And it's kind of last minute. And I know that everybody's hectic, but if we can get us out in front, we're always here to help you. So let's talk about winning today's market, overpricing. We know that. Say, Ryan, all you realtors say it's overpriced. Well, Mr. Seller, all you sellers don't want to listen to the agents that you hire. So, those things come up. A lot of opportunities that you don't want to listen to your team that you hired. And I get it. Look, in today's market, your home is one of the largest investments you're ever going to have. And you want to make sure, with all the cost rising, making sure that you maximize every dollar. But as buyers look today in the housing market, and you may be a seller in today's market, and understand that you may be buying, you've got to put the buying cap on. I always say, look, you're a seller now, but if you're going to be buying as well, are you going to look at these things? And is pricing one of the most important things that you can do? It is. We don't want to underprice it. We don't want to overprice it. We'll be right exactly where we're at. We talked about the things not to do. Sometimes you don't want to over upgrade. One of the reasons to get us out, you may be thinking you need to do certain things or upgrades, and it may not be necessary. You always want to leave room for negotiation. In today's market, we're close to full price, but there's some negotiation. We say wiggle room. There's always going to be some wiggle room. In today's housing market, you want to price appropriately to make sure that that's important. If your home is overpriced, showings are slowing down, days in the market are increasing, buyers always say, hey, what's wrong with it? Did it fall out inspection? Heaven forbid in today's market that a house goes pending, and guess what? It falls out and we put it back on the market. I probably get 50 calls. What's wrong with it, Ryan? Why did it fall through? Well, things happen. And in the last 2 years, we've seen in the housing market, job loss, buyers How about change of heart, financing, appraisals? A lot of different things come into play. So keep that in mind. Just because a house goes back on the market doesn't mean something's wrong with it. But it does mean you need to have a plan of action to get it back under contract. The first 2 weeks are critical. When you're selling your home, the most activities within that first 2 weeks to first 30 days. Buyers are watching. New listings are popping up. In 2026, it's not the same way to market homes as we did prior. Professional photography, videography matters, cleanliness, staging. First impressions matter more than ever. When you're selling your home, making sure that we're decluttering. I know we talk about it. If you got your fur babies, make sure it doesn't smell like dog. I get it. Landscaping, key. Updating lighting. Deep cleaning. Get the maids over before you actually put it live. It makes a big difference. Removing personal distractions. Some pictures are fine, but sometimes it's just too much. Most importantly, while we talk about that, is that buyers want to envision them in your new home, and sometimes it's hard not to do it. Just putting a home on the MLS just won't cut it in today's market. You've got to have retargeting. Social media is key. We use a digital sales platform that reaches across the country. Database marketing, geographic targeting. It's just something that we do. More eyes on your property means more opportunity to get the right buyer and create demand. Mr. Seller, most importantly, that puts more money in your pocket. I think there's a lot of things we can cover. We're running short on times. Homes are selling faster today, obviously, with more updated kitchens, baths, energy efficient. Outdoor living space is one of the biggest keys. Home, office, flexibility. I can't stress that enough. And move-in ready condition. These are things that you will see across the area that are selling. It's all about marketing. It's all about moving forward. It's all about the right agent that you choose. If you're thinking about buying or selling in East Tennessee, if we could be of any help in the process, we're always here. Hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Thank you for spending time with me on a Saturday, and we'll see you back next weekend. Take care.